Turkish Airlines is one of the world's most popular international airlines. And Turkish currently flies to more international destinations than any other airline, including 266 different cities and 130 different countries around the world. Come along with Ronnie and I as we compare Turkish Airlines business class product on their Boeing 787-9 with their premium economy class product on our way back to the island of the gods. We're Ronnie and Jeremy, and we're digital nomads traveling to every country in the world. We've been on the rails and in the air for the past 3 years, bringing you our unbiased reviews on travel destinations across the globe. After spending 2023 living in South America, we have returned to Asia for more adventures. And as always, we hope that you'll come along with us for the ride. Because you don't have to be a Kentuckian to travel with us, you just gotta have fun. Our travel adventure day begins here at our apartment in Makati City near Manila in the Philippines. And as on any travel day in Southeast Asia, Ronnie and I hired a Grab taxi ride on the Grab Super app for only $7 to take us over to Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Manila. And after congested traffic in Manila and more than an hour in our Grab taxi ride, Ronnie and I finally arrived at Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Okay, we are at the Manila International Airport, and we are trying to check in for our 10:30 flight, which is our first flight today. We left the Airbnb at 5 p.m. local time here in Manila, so the clock starts now, and now we're at the airport 1 hour after leaving the Airbnb, and queue for Turkish Airlines is quite lengthy, so we'll see how long this takes to get checked in. The check-in queue for Turkish Airlines in premium economy and in business class was quite crowded at Manila's International Airport. However, Ronnie found a friend to chat with in the check-in queue. But after 1 hour in the Turkish Airlines check-in queue, we finally checked our luggage for our premium economy flight to Istanbul. Only 1 hour to get checked in here at Turkish Airlines desk in Manila, but we got our tickets. And now we need to find a currency exchange and get rid of these Filipino pesos. And after we changed the remainder of our Filipino pesos, Ronnie and I headed directly for airport security on our way to Terminal 3 to check in to the PAG's Premium Lounge. We have checked into the PAG's Premium Lounge here in the Terminal 3 of Manila's International Airport. We have access to a couple of Priority Pass lounges in this terminal. There's a Marhaba Lounge, which is quite small, and it's shared with the Emirates Lounge. The PAG's Premium Lounge is also shared with several different airlines as well, but the space is much better. So if you're in the International Terminal, Terminal 3 in Manila, I would suggest coming into the PAG's Lounge because it's got much more room. The buffet bar is much bigger as well. And after a brief stay at the PAG's Premium Lounge in Manila's International Airport, Ronnie and I headed directly to our gate for boarding of our premium economy class flight from Manila to Istanbul, Türkiye.
Thank you.
Thank you. And welcome Welcome on board our Boeing 787-9 flight to Istanbul with 270 seats in the economy class cabins and 30 seats in the business class cabin. This will be a 13-hour flight to Istanbul from Manila. We'll be flying across the Asian continent, pretty much all of it, on our way to Istanbul, and we should be there maybe 6 o'clock in the morning local time in Istanbul. And yeah, this should be a full service flight. Probably going to have dinner service and breakfast service, and yeah, we'll give you our review, of course. We splurged a little bit and got the premium economy seats, so we have some extra leg room for this 13-hour flight. And yeah, we'll tell you how Turkish Airlines does this time. We had some good flights with them last year, so we're pretty excited about this one. And although Ronnie and I had plenty of space in our premium bulkhead seats in the economy class cabin, the rest of the flight was quite unremarkable on our way to Istanbul. The Turkish Airlines meal service was satisfactory. The lavatories in the economy class cabin were clean throughout the flight, and we had updated in-flight entertainment for our trip to Istanbul. But eventually our Boeing 787-9 aircraft began making its final approach into Istanbul's International Airport. Thank you. Bye. We have landed in Istanbul. The flight was good, overall good service, and go ahead and drop us some comments and let us know why you opt for business class when you're traveling long haul flights. Is it crying toddlers, or is it price, or something else? Drop us some comments down below and let us know what's the deciding factor in you taking a business class seat on a long haul flight. Alright, we got through the international transfer security just fine. They always pull us aside now for our liquids and our carry-on bags. Those perfumes and things like that attracts those security officers at airports. They really want to have a nice take-home gift, but we have learned by now to have every bottle under 100 milliliters, and so they always get disappointed when they open our bags and all the bottles are much less than 100 milliliters. And since the next flight on this trip is in business class, Ronnie and I headed directly for the Turkish Airlines business class lounge at Istanbul's International Airport. Turkish Airlines passengers will be happy to know that Turkish Airlines has 2 identical business class lounges in the Istanbul International Airport. But although both lounges are identical, one lounge is designated for Turkish Airlines business class, and its identical twin lounge is designated for Star Alliance Gold members and Miles and Smiles members. Visitors to these Turkish Airlines lounges will find that these lounges offer many amenities, including private sleeping suites, shower suites, luggage storage, and a self-playing piano. But we should mention here that access to the Turkish Airlines private sleeping suites in the business class lounges is quite strict and follows the Turkish Airlines policy guidelines. According to the Turkish Airlines staff in the business class lounge, in order to gain access to the private sleeping suites in the business class lounge, passengers must have a flight of more than 8 hours and a connection time in Istanbul between 4 and 9 hours. If passengers have a flight less than 8 hours or a connection time less than 4 hours or more than 9 hours, the passenger will not be granted access to the private sleeping suites in the business class lounge. And Turkish Airlines follows a strict computer-based policy regarding these private sleeping rooms. which means that connection times are based on the actual landing time in Istanbul and the scheduled departure time for the connecting flight. But for Turkish Airlines passengers who are not lucky enough to gain access to the private sleeping suites, there are plenty of seating options and food options to pass your time in the Istanbul International Airport. And for Turkish Airlines passengers traveling with kids, there are several different entertainment areas inside the business class lounges, including TV rooms and play areas. But our long layover in the Turkish Airlines business class lounge did eventually come to an end, and Ronnie and I began our long trek across Istanbul's International Airport to find our boarding gate. And we should certainly note here for our regular viewers that if you are transiting in Istanbul's International Airport, be prepared to walk. This international hub for Turkish Airlines is quite large and it is still growing. And unfortunately, the Istanbul International Airport has not yet installed an airport rail system. Therefore, your walk from the center of the international terminal to any departure gate may be 20 to 30 minutes walk at a minimum. But after a long walk across the airport, Ronnie and I finally made it to our boarding gate at the F gates in the very corner of the Istanbul International Airport. And welcome on board our Turkish Airlines Boeing 787-9 business class flight with 30 lie-flat business class seats in a 1-2-1 configuration. And as frequent flyers will immediately notice, this layout on the Boeing 787-9 for Turkish Airlines is much different than their outdated configuration on their Boeing 777. These lie-flat seats on the Boeing 787-9 are in pods, which offers much more privacy than the configuration on the outdated 232 layout on the Boeing 777. In addition, the seat materials are quite comfortable and the calming color tones inside the business class cabin make it quite easy to rest on a long-haul flight. Turkish Airlines travelers will also enjoy more storage at their business class seats and newer features inside the business class cabin. And we would also like to note the reading lights at the business class seat, the flexible tray tables, and the footwells, which all add to the cozy feeling on this new Boeing 787-9 layout for Turkish Airlines. And as is the standard for Turkish Airlines, as soon as Ronnie and I were settled at our business class seats, the crew came around the business class cabin to offer welcome drinks. We both chose to begin this business class flight with mint lemonades, and Ronnie was excited to explore the Salvatore Ferragamo amenity kits. These Salvatore Ferragamo branded amenity kits were reliable with all the usual suspects, including socks, face masks, dental kits, and several Salvatore Ferragamo branded facial products. And if you were worried this bright red color was the only option for the Salvatore Ferragamo amenity kits, rest easy as Ronnie gives you a tutorial of the light blue amenity kit I was given. And although the contents of these amenity kits are thoughtful and of good quality, the Salvatore Ferragamo leather bags are the highlight of these amenity kits. And as the boarding process finished for this Boeing 787-9 business class flight, the famous Turkish Airlines chefs began taking the meal orders for the dine-on-demand service that was available for this 12-hour flight from Istanbul down to Denpasar, Bali. And here is a preview of some of the offerings available on the menu for this flight. Feel free to pause and peruse as there were many options for this flight down to Bali. And as soon as Ronnie and I made our meal choices for this flight, we began exploring the in-flight entertainment and the flight route from Istanbul back to the Island of the Gods. One of the most significant upgrades for Turkish Airlines on the Boeing 787-9 is the in-flight entertainment system. The IFE screens are much larger than the Boeing 777 model, and the overall in-flight entertainment system is much more interactive. And as you can see, the 3D Voyager mapping on the Turkish Airlines Boeing 787 is much more interactive than some of the outdated systems that you will find on other airlines. And if you're still with us on this flight as we take off and ascend over Istanbul, Türkiye, please remember to hit that thumbs up like button and subscribe to our channel. That is one of the best ways that you can support our work and keep us on the rails and in the air. And once we were cruising over Istanbul, it was time for Ronnie and I to get cozy in our honeymoon seats in row 7. And we should note here that these middle seats on the Turkish Airlines Boeing 787-9 do have partition dividers if you are traveling alone on your flight. And these middle seats do alternate in layout, with the odd numbered rows having the seats closer together and the even numbered rows having the middle seats farther apart. And for travelers thinking about booking window seats on this Turkish Airlines Boeing 787, please remember that the even numbered rows have true window seats, while the odd numbered rows have the storage consoles closer to the windows. It is also worth noting that these odd numbered window seats have less privacy because the window seats are angled toward the aisle. And as soon as our flight reached cruising altitude, the Turkish Airlines flight crew began preparing the bedding for our long flight to Bali. And after our lie-flat business class seats were prepared for the long flight, we received hot towels in preparation for the dinner service. This meal began with wine and cherry juice on the side with warm assorted nuts and a prawn salad and a Turkish meze. And for our main options, Ronnie decided to choose the grilled sea bass with pan-fried vegetables and basil pesto, while I chose the safer grilled lemon rosemary chicken with fresh arugula, cherry tomatoes, parmesan, and fried potatoes. Dessert for Ronnie on this flight was a fresh fruit salad, while I chose to go with the homemade eclair with chocolate sauce, strawberry, and fresh cream. And I have to sadly confirm that Ronnie's fresh fruit salad was the clear winner on this flight. And for all our fans of Lou reviews, here is the Turkish Airlines Boeing 787-9 business class lavatory. And the best part of the Turkish Airlines business class lavatory is by far the well-stocked assortment of molten brown products. And Ronnie and I would like to encourage our loyal viewers who love our videos to consider becoming channel members. Channel members get extra perks and content as Ronnie and I continue bringing you world travel videos from across the globe. Viewers can check out our channel memberships and our referral links in the description of this video. We put those links in the description of all our videos and they're guaranteed to help you travel better in the future. And once the meal service had concluded and Ronnie and I returned to our business class seats, the mood lighting was set to sleep mode and Ronnie and I got comfy in our lie flat seats. And one of my favorite things to watch on any ultra long haul flight is the 3D flight mapping. And as you can see, our flight to Bali had an interesting route as it flew over Central Asia and India on its way to Southeast Asia as it flew through several different time zones. And as you can see, Ronnie and I had no trouble sleeping on this Turkish Airlines Boeing 787 as our seats were quite comfortable, but soon it was time for Turkish breakfast in the evening over Southeast Asia. All Turkish breakfasts include some assortment of fruit, cheese, olives, and meat, but this particular breakfast on this Turkish Airlines flight was not memorable and certainly did not meet my expectations for Turkish Airlines. By far the most disappointing part of this Turkish breakfast was the yogurt, which tastes more like a kefir and less like a Greek yogurt. However, this particular yogurt on our flight tasted a bit spoiled and definitely ruined the breakfast. But regardless, you can't get the blues on any flight bound for Bali, and soon Ronnie and I were approaching our favorite island in the world. And Ronnie and I would like to welcome you to Ngurah Rai International Airport in Denpasar, Bali, just south of world-famous Kuta Beach. And we would also like to note that most tourists traveling to Bali and Indonesia can get a visa on arrival. The current cost for a visa on arrival to Indonesia is 500,000 Indonesian rupiah, which is about $32 US. And once we arrived at the Bali airport and cleared immigration, our friend Danny picked us up at the airport. Danny is the best driver on Bali and his contact info is in the description of this video. And welcome to the Marriott Fairfield Hotel on Sunset Road in Seminyak, Bali, which can be booked for as little as $50 US per night or as few as 10,000 Marriott Bonvoy points per night. And as we say goodbye again from Seminyak, Bali, we would like to remind our viewers to do us a solid and hit that thumbs up like button and share this video with all your friends on all those social media channels. And if you enjoy world travel content and jetting around the globe wherever we go, please subscribe to our channel and check that notification bell so you know when our new videos are uploaded every week. But remember, you don't have to be a Kentuckian to travel with us. You just gotta have fun. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on keeping on. Cheers.